Okay, my name is Mr. Byrne, and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to build a Camera Obscura out of a shoebox. So included in this video will be the skeleton notes and the notes on how to build the camera as well. So this video is to supplement that. All right, to begin with, you need some materials. We need a shoebox. We need one pair of scissors, a lens from a magnifying glass. This is an 8x magnifying glass. You can get these on Amazon. I'll include the link in the video. One utility knife, a cutting board, one roll of duct tape. When you guys go grab a roll of duct tape from over there, Jared, you grab that please. One marker, and one piece of glass. So you can get these at Walmart for about 96 cents, and it's a 4x6 frame, and we're going to be using the glass out of this. So a half sheet of tracing paper, and a ruler. Once you have all your materials collected, you can begin. All right, so for number one, let's talk about the box. If you have a box that has a lid that is attached, so it's like a Nike box or something like that, you'll want to, first step is cut right along the seam and remove that lid. So number one, if you have a lid that is attached to your box, start by cutting it off and setting it aside. The lid will serve as your tray. So our Camera Obscura is actually going to be sitting inside of this. So in this case, it's separated, so we're good to go. So we're going to set that aside. All right, step two. From one end of the box, measure 10 centimeters. So from one end, we have a ruler with inches and centimeters. 10 centimeters here. 10 centimeters there. We're gonna draw a line, and this line is gonna go all the way around our box. All right, so what was the first rule of cutting? Measure twice, cut once. So now that I've drawn the line, I'm just gonna verify that it is correct. Yes, it is 10 centimeters. I'm gonna do the same on the sides. Get it back, turned upside down. There we go. All right, step three, draw an X on that end of the box. So an X just like that. This signifies which end of the box you're working with for later reference. All right, step four, from the other end of the box, measure 12 centimeters and draw another line around the outside of the box. Again, verify your measurements. Well, good to go. All right, step five, draw a V on the other end of the box. The V indicates the view side of the box. That's where your viewfinder is gonna go. Step six, you're gonna break down your shoebox flat and remove any extra flaps. You're gonna put your flaps aside for use later. Okay, so like in the case of this one, it's just glued together, so I literally just have to pull it apart and break it down. Now when I reference flaps, I'm meaning these pieces right here on the end. You want to make sure that you leave the part that has the X and the V on it, but you can cut off these parts where the seams are. So we're going to be cutting these pieces off. I'm going to be using the scissors as much as possible, so I don't need to use a knife. The only thing I'm going to use the utility knife for is to cut the circles out, because it's really hard to do that with a pair of scissors. So we have lots of pairs of scissors for you guys to use. You're going to just cut those off really quick. And if you get stuck and you're not quite sure what to cut, just ask, I'll tell you. should be left with a box that looks similar to this right here. If you want, you can fold these out. We're gonna leave these on here. This will help reinforce the box later on. So you can leave those side pieces on. All right. Step 7, using the scissors, cut along the lines you made with the marker, leaving you with 2 ends. So we have 2 straight lines going across right on here. We're gonna cut along those 2 lines. Okay, do not discard the middle of this box. You might need this piece later. You want to save big pieces like this and like the flaps, because you can always use those to help reinforce your box or fix in any holes that you're missing. Okay, number 9. While the box is still broken down, it's now time to cut a hole on the X side. So you find your piece that you marked with an X. Using something that has a circumference of a silver dollar, approximately 3.8 centimeters, cut a hole with the utility knife near the top seam of the box using the cutting board. So our cutting board, we have some a towel underneath it to help keep it from slipping. And we're gonna be using utility knife. So approximately 3.8 inches. So if you want to measure that, 3.8 centimeters, thank you. So just under 4, that gives me an idea. So I'm just gonna draw like a plus sign. Where I wanna cut. Okay, so that gives me a general idea of where I want to make my cuts. It says in there, using near the seam of the box. So this is the seam right here. You want to have the lens positioned more towards that seam, because when it's in your box like so, you don't want the lens down here. You want it more towards the top. So that's why you want to put it more towards this seam, okay? So we're going to draw a circle, or cut a circle out. What I found is that it's better to move the box versus trying to cut around. It doesn't have to be perfect. So something similar to that. Okay. Put the knife away. Okay, using the piece of box that you removed from the middle, cut approximately a 5 centimeter square out using the scissors, and then another 3.8 centimeter hole in the square piece. So this is where these flaps will come in handy, or this middle piece that you have. You're gonna create this next piece out of one of these. Now our flaps are, let's see, are about 8 centimeters square. So we're just gonna trim that down just a little bit. And these are approximations from this piece. You just want to be able to cover up your lens. Perfect. Okay, so then we're gonna cut another circle. Again, you wanna have it kind of leaning one way or the other, because when it goes on here, you don't wanna have it right in the middle, because then this piece will stick up like this. So you kind of wanna estimate where the hole is on here so you can have it match up. So we're gonna cut it near the top part of it. As you can see, I'm moving the piece and not moving the knife too much. And if you're uncomfortable making this cut, feel free to ask me or your instructor, whoever's helping you, and then pop that out. Okay. Now we have a piece and the hole should line up fairly well, just like that. Okay, number 10, using a piece of box. Oh, we already did that piece. All right. Number 11, using the duct tape, attach the lens to the box. So put the knife away. So we have a brand new fresh roll of duct tape. Okay. So this is the part that actually makes it a camera obscura, not a pinhole camera, is the addition of a lens. So this will pop right out. There we go. Okay, real simple. We're just going to set this over here just like this. It creates a nice little sandwich effect in there. And then using the duct tape, we're just going to attach it on. Approximately just like so. Okay, set the X piece with the lens and duct tape aside. We'll come back to this in a few minutes. Grab the viewfinder, so your V side, so grab your viewfinder side, and trim a 1/2 centimeter off the side flaps, so on the sides here, with the scissors. So we're just going to make a quick measurement here. The point of this is that this will actually be the piece that slides inside of the lens side, so you want to have a little bit of space here. So it moves smoothly. Let me cut those off. All right, now we're going to cut out, for number 13, cut out a 13 by 6 centimeter rectangle on the V side piece. So right in here. Again, you kind of want to weight things a little more towards the seam. So 13 by 6. We're going to use a utility knife for this. If you can help it, you always want to turn it so you're cutting away from your body, not towards yourself. It's not always unavoidable, but do your best. Now we have our viewfinder. Okay, number 14, using the tape, attach the glass pane to the outside of the shoebox. So that pops right out like that. Okay, so in this case, we have a little bit smaller shoebox. The paint is gonna stick up a little bit. That's perfectly fine. The point of the glass is you're gonna attach your tracing paper to this, and you actually have a surface to press on with your pencil, so it'll make tracing much easier. Okay, so if it sticks up on the top, that's fine. All right, now carefully set the viewing side apart with the glass. Put that there. Number 16, if you have a shoebox with an attached lid, you'll need to create a side rail with whatever scrap that you have. So what I mean by that is, for example, a Nike box will be missing an entire side here. This is where that piece, that long piece in the middle, will come in real useful, because you can trim that down and create a side rail that'll fit right on there. You'll have to cut it along the top here. But you want it to be approximately the same dimensions, so you'll have to actually create a piece on the side there. But in this case, we have one that's detached, so we're good to go. Number 17, use the duct tape to reassemble the X side and attach it to your tray. So we have our lens side, the X side here. So again, we use duct tape. We're going to put along the seams here, so it should look something similar to that. Don't be afraid to use duct tape. We have lots of it, and all it will do is just reinforce your box and make it more sturdy. So don't be afraid to use it. I prefer the blue duct tape. Alright, so there's that piece there. We're going to attach it to the tray now, like so. What I suggest you do is that you lift it up just a tiny bit if you can when you're attaching it, just to give it more room for the other piece that will be sliding in and out of this. So what I like to do is just take a couple quick pieces, kind of put it in place where I want it, so give it a little space there. Alright, there we go, just like that. Alright, number 18, reassemble the V side using duct tape. Set this aside for a moment. Again, don't be afraid to use duct tape. All right. Number 19, attach an 8 centimeter by 12.5 centimeter wide piece of tracing paper to the glass. So I'm going to provide each of you with a half sheet of tracing paper. So quick measurement here. We'll do 12 first. We'll do 8. Okay, using the scissors again, let's cut that out. All right, I'm going to attach that to the glass. So it should fit in there just nicely like that. I'm going to use just a little bit of duct tape here. The point is you don't want to have too much duct tape on there because you want to be able to remove it as well. So we'll make these nice little small squares. Like so. All right, number 20, reinsert the V side into the tray, making sure it can move freely. So we want to set this in here, like so, and it should move, set it right inside. The idea is you want to be able to move it so it can slide back and forth like this. This is your focusing device. So it'll move back and forth so you can get things in focus depending on whatever your subject is that you choose. Step 21. Choose a subject and capture an image using your Camera Obscura.